The Tale of Two Tigers. Story by Paul Richmond Clare I. All rights reserved to Paul R. Clare and PCOnTheProwl.com. Our story begins right now. This mystical tale appeared to me on a calm yet sleepless night. At that moment I found myself telling myself a bedtime story that night, as you would a child to take them on an adventure, as the great storytellers do, to pass on tales unwritten, to be passed down from generation to generation since the dawn of time. This beautiful and now mostly lost art form is a legendary way of telling a story or legend by a captivating fire or tucked into a warm, cosy bed, not only to mystify, but to bring a useful lesson in life to pass down from generation to generation. Let's begin. The Tale of Two Tigers. In a lush and beautiful forest in India, near the Ganges River's life force waters, all the way from the snow caps melting of the great Himalayas. Life is hard to endure in these majestic and trying great mountains, but the challenges there create a special type of human being, beings that have joy in the simplest things life has to offer, all the while having nothing less than a very trying and difficult way to live and survive. Let's pounce right into our story, The Tale of Two Tigers, written by Paul Richmond Clare I, all rights reserved. Tigers are incredible animals that drink, hunt, live and roam through life in what can only be called truly living. Tigers live a life of true excitement, joy, pain, adventure only a tiger can know. In this tale, two apex specimens, living as nature intended with the twist of both being tigers, but going about life in two very different ways, made me feel like a kid, as a much older age individual these days, on what was to become the adventure of a lifetime. Both tigers in this tale dwelled very close to each other, but as tigers do, each had their own domain. The territory each tiger had earned on their own, through the claw, tooth, and lifestyle of apex predators, living both as tigers by definition, but going about their lives in very different ways than each other. Now, this is where the story really shows the difference, being of the same classification of animal, but the two ways one can approach and live their life. Neither tiger is responsible for what they are as animals in this world, but are defined by how they navigate the world and react to the hardships, joys, and challenges that all planet Earth's creatures do. Both had a very different approach to navigating life, but their souls and decisions on how to live their lives were miles apart. Let's give these tigers a name so we can begin this story. One of these tigers had lost a claw on his left paw, but his right, powerful claw was perfect in every way, with all 5 claws intact. We will call him Forepaw. He had a very stoic nature about him, one in the lesson of pain and healing he experienced upon loss of one of his claws on his left paw. The other tiger in this tale had all claws intact, and this tiger, both right and left, had never really experienced much discomfort and disadvantage, let alone real pain, throughout his life in the jungle that both tigers called home. We will call this tiger All Claws. Forepaw, missing a claw, had to develop an interesting way of thriving and approaching life as a tiger. Our mighty Forepaw hunted very differently than All Claws, due to his painful experience of loss. Forepaw had experienced great pain, losing his claw climbing a tree and catching it on that devious vine. That's what most would say put him, as a tiger, at a disadvantage. He learned about excruciating pain, healing and becoming reborn as a different individual. Now, both tigers to eat had to hunt, primarily, deer in the forest that were around them. Forepaw did not enjoy this necessary task to live, yet it was a burden he went about amicably, with skill and as much painlessness on his blessed meals as he could, and always asked for permission from the great tiger souls that govern the tiger's world here on earth, before performing a necessary need for himself and the chain of life we all face in some way. He approached hunting in a unique way. He would observe the herds of deer. He would notice the old and injured, suffering through life, and the ones that were ready to make the great journey to the next realm. Although the meat of the old deers was a bit tough, and the flavour was not that of easy-to-catch baby deer, he tried his best to be part of harmony in this world. Forepaw would find these old, injured, suffering, and less than tasteful deers, whose time was near and ready to move on to a next chapter, whatever it is, for a deer's soul. He had a virtually painless way of using his strong right paw as not only a tool but a device of mercy. Forepaw would quickly knock his meal out unconscious at lightning speed. The duty of moving the soul in a painless and quick manner showed respect and empathy, as best to his ability as he could, for the lovely and graceful deer. Now, let's get to All Claws. He enjoyed the taste of fresh baby deer meat. It was easy to catch, and a prime delicious treat to dine on for a tiger. He even killed his meal in full view of the mother deer, where she could witness her little angel being viciously devoured. It gave him a sort of pride to display his power of dominance of the jungle world, but also some sort of pleasure, having the other deers watch him rule their existing land they shared together. They, watching as he recklessly ate his meal alive, screaming and writhing in pain. These screams of pain brought him a sense of unexplainable pleasure, for reasons unknown. While he drank from the Ganges river's banks, he would walk boldly up and scare everything away, everything in sight around him. A huge roar did this job very well, he would come to learn. Now, Forepaw, on the other hand, enjoyed drinking with all the other wonderful creatures of the jungle. They were very different to him, but he very much enjoyed the company and companionship of these amazing, diverse life forms. He would quietly walk up softly to drink from the healing and magical water the great Ganges provides to all that thrive from it. Forepaw would sit and ponder what it was like to be able to fly high in the skies above the jungle, like his beautifully coloured bird friends that made sweet music did. He also would contemplate what it must be like to be the silky-coated meerkats in their small but magnificent earth-made kingdoms. Tigers, due to the danger they present to others in the jungle, mostly live a lonely life, due to nature's view of them, because of the way tigers go about living that poses a threat to most of the jungle's creatures around them. Forepaw had the unusual gift for a tiger of great friends, as he protected and loved them all, but would only feed with respect. In his natural role, he played with as much kindness and respect that made him, in his heart, as doing a duty, while loving in every way he could, to give back what he could for the beautiful gift of life he had been bestowed by the tiger gods, to roam the earth before his time to live the true life of a tiger. Now, All Claws, on the other hand, would overindulge in sweet and tasty baby deer meat every chance he could. Quick and easy to kill were the baby deer. Also, his ruthless and reckless act stopped short the deer's opportunity to have more offspring for the future to come. All Claus had no remorse at all in eating baby deers. His favourite part of the kill was the sound of the kill of the sweet, youthful deer. After time passed, both tigers grew very old, and time was close for them both to embark on the journey to the other side of Earth's life journey, called death. Death is the one journey no living creature can avoid. We all share. All Claus broke a leg one day. It happened on a sharp rock while chasing a young meerkat. The meerkat that day, like the story of David and Goliath, used jumping over the sharp rock in the dirt to escape All Claus, who injured his left paw so badly it brought All Claus right to the ground, unable to get up. The once strong, apex predator big cat just laid there and was unable to move or get up off the ground. All Claus lay helpless and baking in the hot summer sun, about 20 feet from the mystical Ganges riverbank. Night came. He barely got any sleep, and now, experiencing what real pain was and unable to move at all, realized death was only a short time away. As Forepaw aged, he died one night painlessly in his sleep. That morning the sun rose as it has for millions of years. A large bull elephant magically appeared from the palms of the jungle with a white glow shining from its mighty, strong head and trunk. It was also brilliantly coloured and adorned with rare, beautiful jewels all over him. The elephant used his mighty trunk to pick up and carry Forepaw all the way to the edge of the mighty Ganges bankside. The group of Forepaw animal friends gathered to witness and pay respects to Forepaw, now set adrift by the mighty elephant with the broken tusk, to head towards tiger heaven. Please remember, my friends, life and death comes to all of us, but how we live this life is the one thing we can control about the lives we have. The end. The story, Tale of Two Tigers, was inspired by and dedicated to my loving father, Edward Richmond Clare.